lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello race fans and welcome to Sim Racing Media. We are back here with the Western States Racing League after a week off for the holiday. Live at Bristol. I'm Liam Irving, joined by Mike DeMoney up in the booth. Mike, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Can't wait to see what these guys do after the Easter break. Back on a short track, but it's Bristol, so we'll see how these drivers handle it tonight.
These guys are going to be in for a treat. 200 laps around the world's fastest half mile. On the pole is going to be immense. We got it's a 10-minute qualify, so about 5 minutes left in session here. Demard actually fastest.
Looks like Chris Demard just jumped up top of the board. 15:09 to a 15:10. Actually, dual 15:10s with Charles Woods up there as well.
Gonna be a fun and competitive race here at the front, all throughout the course of the field.
Oh, wow, looking down the entry list, I see a name I haven't seen here in quite a little while. He's actually the 43 Dodge Ram machine, Butch Davis. He ran here a little while ago.
I reckon the STP paint scheme here.
P9.
Not too bad for a bit of a return here. Looks like 15 drivers got out here ready to make a lap here in qualifying. 7 who are set to go. Kelman might be getting out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, Keith Kelman looks like. Brian Barnes might be getting ready as well. Last week when we were... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said last week when we were at Martinsville, the race was relatively dominated by Jacob Jensen. Then he wound up losing that track position, turning the race over to Ryan Steele, and Ryan Steele wound up coming home with the victory with Chris Dumard in second. So they look to improve on that effort tonight, does Jensen and Simard.
Hard sitting pretty. 15:09 up front. A bit more in depth. Final line. Both for.
A little loose there coming off of 2.
Woohoo! Goes up to 4th with a 15:12. Like it's looking like this is going to be a very competitive race at the front. Go ahead and look at some of your race info here. I know we had this up earlier. It's a 200 lap race. Got 3 additional tire sets. That fuel, no fast repairs here today. 85 degrees is track temp, 74 the air temp. A little bit cloudy, but as the sun goes down, it's sort of effect on.
No, it definitely shouldn't. These guys should pretty well have all their all the track grip they need. We'll see how this changes overnight, but as we work into the night, I don't think it's going to drop too much in. I mean, what, 30 seconds left here in practice or in qualifying, and 5 drivers left to go, 6 drivers left to go, which
I don't foresee those. Probably looking. Yeah, we're gonna have like a 5-minute in session forward by. 16 drivers got out there to put down a Kelman iRacing out there looking pretty.
yeah, he's been sitting at the front of pit road for 8.5 minutes.
Craft. That little bit of time jump. Hair darker. Track temp has cooled down a bit. We're down to 73 on that track. Provide a little bit more grip for these.
Everybody's about ready to get in. One driver that didn't take a qualifying lap is Jeff Hollingsworth. So I wonder if he's going to stay in the back or start from the pits, because he was fairly quick in practice.
We'll have to take a look what happens there, but also take a look at our starting grid here. On the pole is going to be Chris Simard, Jacob Jensen to his outside, Charles Woods and Ryan Barnes. 2, followed by Matt Sisler, Wayne Hutchison. 04 consists of Bob Beltrami and Todd Miles, followed by Chris Walker and Butch Davis. back starting top 10. Julian Ricci and David Weaver in 11th and 12th. By last week's or 2 weeks ago's winner, Ryan Steele, for Weaver to his outside. John Kenyon and Alan Bergen make up row number 8, followed by Ray Partridge and Scott Kukas. Keith Kelman and Barry Phil are going to round out your top 20, followed by Jeff Hollingsworth and William Fletcher. 22 drivers ready to rock and rumble for 200 laps here in Bristol. Looks like 3 drivers, Ray Partridge, Jeff Hollingsworth, and William Fletcher, not going to make the start here. This 19 on the grid going back to Keith Kelman.
Yeah, these laps are going to click off fast and in a hurry here at Bristol.
All right, I mean, 15-second laps throughout qualifying. I know this is going to be some fall off when about 16 and a half, but that is still blazing fast lap. You guys could be done with it in less than an hour if they were.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants a green flag race, but it's Bristol.
Samard gonna lead us down. Jacob Jensen, points leader, to his outside. Charles Woods, Crown Royal 98. Ryan Barnes, Wayne Hutchison, your top 5. Getting ready to go here in Thunder Valley. Pace truck is off. Green flag is in the air, and we are rolling.
Jacob Jensen with a massive run off that top side, going to get out to the lead. Chris Samard back into second as they work through 3 and 4.
Little bit of gap on 3rd and 4th. Some side-by-side action, but the first lap clean for everybody. Beltrami just behind this battle here of Sisler and Wayne Hutchison. These guys are going to be fighting early to figure out which lane is going to be the dominant one early on. And now it looks like the outside lane is going to be a little bit better. A little bit of door bang in there between the 93 and the 17 down the front straightaway. Wayne Hutchison just put down the fastest lap of the race that last time. His second lap complete.
Yeah, definitely you can see these guys moving to the inside, outside, trying to figure out where they want to be, get that grip, and try and move forward as fast as possible before these drivers start to kind of drive away and make a couple different groups here.
Just trying to work his way up. He's up to 9th. Spot gain, but he put down a blazing fast lap. Time 5. Gill up a spot already for where he started. Canyon just behind him. He's up 2. Beaver.
Yeah, and up front with these, as fast as these laps are clicking off, they're going to come up on some lap traffic here relatively soon. They got about 3 seconds, 2.5, 3 seconds before they come up on the back of the field. So that could also take into effect here momentarily.
Got that 0-0. Ellenbergen pays off the pack, and then Kelman already lost a few seconds to Barry Phil as well. Now, Mike, it's not going to be long before these guys get up into lap traffic, and we're going to see a decent amount of discrepancy.
Yeah, definitely. And they have to hit him at just the right time. You don't want to adjust your line too much to avoid the lapper, but at the same time, you don't want to rear end him either, because the pace difference is huge as you see Jensen go to the high side to try and get by.
That one pretty easy. Looks pretty easy, and Bergen sideways down on the bottom of the racetrack, gonna slide it into the pits. Out of harm's way. Drives through, or feeling a little hungry or thirsty. Jacob Jensen out to about a 2/3 second lead over Chris Samard. Charles Woods, Ryan Barnes, and Allen's got to go through the entire pit lane. Back stretch and front stretch. Bring it in box. Tires service.
Jensen.
Already 13 laps complete here at Bristol. Jensen's led them all. Out out front, Chris Samard, your pull sitter. Charles Wood able to hold on to third place for now, but Brian Barnes not letting him get too far away. Hutchison quick for the first couple of laps, got around that 93, kind of settled out where he's at in the top 5.
Wayne Hutchinson, Matt Sisler, and Bob Beltrami. Beltrami's starting to close in on Sisler here.
A lot of these guys staying towards the bottom of the racetrack. That is odd. Heard some guys talking, I don't know if you see it. We're on board with Bob Beltrami. I heard some guys talking about the grandstands had disappeared in turns 3. Well, I see what they mean. In your live view. See the billboards and art still over this where the lights are.
Huh.
You see that?
Yeah.
See the tower for Colossus. I know it's not a me thing, but too many reports saying the same thing to think that that's just something odd on my end. A little bit of an update out with that as Butch Davis looking down to the inside of Chris Walker. This battle for 8th. Now Walker's starting to show us a little bit, close there, show us a little bit of that speed that the outside can show.
Yeah, and don't look now. We kind of talked pre-race. Ryan Steele did not have a good qualifying effort. He was relatively slow in practice, but he is moving up. He is inside the top 10 now, starting to close in on this battle between Butch Davis and Chris Walker.
And I know Davis is going to want to get this done quick. He sees that 12 in his mirror. Just raced with him for a while. I know way back when we started calling this. These were two names that we would talk about, Ryan Steele and Butch Davis. So that they know a lot about each other. And Butch, right up to the rear of that 23.
He was trying to set up that run, just doesn't quite have enough speed to get by. You can see him pull down to the inside and just lose about half a truck length there.
Bill's going to give us a good perspective as Walker tags the wall a little. Butch is going to go up the racetrack a little bit, try to cut down and get this run coming up off of the corner. It gives him almost enough to get side by side. Try to set it up again here. Back down the racetrack, it's a better exit. Walker's doing a really good job of defending this. Not doing anything egregious by any stretch of the means. Just running exactly where Butch wants to run. Not allowing him to use up all the racetrack that he wants to. But Ryan Steele, a couple of looks here down on the inside, up on the outside. Trying to figure something out while Butch looks back up to the outside. Gonna try the little crossover here down the front stretch. Got the nose, he's gonna try to slide him. He gets Walker here as there's a couple of lapped trucks in front of all of these guys. We've got Kelman there, Alan Bergen just in front. Walker has to concede that position. Where does Bergen go? Goes up to the top of the racetrack, but he found himself a little bit of speed at the worst time there for Butch Davis.
Yeah, Butch Davis, Ryan Steele trying to get by Keith Kelman there and Chris Walker. Just enough room to get by.
Brian Barnes has gotten around Charles Woods. Second for third place, rather. Wayne Hutchison trying to follow through. Barnes is 4 seconds off of second place. Chris Samard, Jacob Jensen about a second up the road from him, but that just goes to show that Charles Woods may have been holding guys up a ton.
Well, and that's the thing about this short track racing. Well, and you'll see it at like road courses too. If you can't get by them and they're holding up a whole line, all of a sudden, as soon as that one car gets by, everybody else is going to start making their way by, and that car that was holding them up, it's almost like they have a parachute. They start falling to the back relatively quickly.
Guys are trying to find their way around Charles Woods. Hutchison couldn't do it. Sisler says, all right, I'll find a lane. Moves down to the bottom, and he's going to take away 4th place. Hutchison tries to go back to the inside for the top 5. He's strong on the outside, but I think Hutchison's in there and get it this time.
Yeah, it looks like he just didn't quite have enough speed. Then he saw Sisler do it and kind of mirrored that pass and was able to get it by. But now it's going to be a hornet's nest pretty quickly here. Bergen going back into the pits.
Barry Phil going a lap down. Got Kukas, Earl Weaver not too far up the road. That's going to be tough. If you're a guy like Barry Phil right now, you may be expected to get early caution. Now early in the race, you're a lap down. I hope for that yellow flag soon. Otherwise, that free pass position.
Yeah, because Jacob Jensen is not wasting any time putting these guys a lap down.
I think the fun meter's pegged there for 0.
Looks like it.
Is. Oh. Run for Allen. Not so great here for Jacob Jensen as he's getting around Ricci. Definitely going to cost him some time to the drivers behind. Ricci now coming up off of turn 4, a little bit of contact.
I'll say he caught those guys at the wrong time. Kukas and Ricci battling for position on track. And then you have the leader come by.
Aren't able to gain a little bit of time there, but not as much as he would have hoped as Jensen. Finding that mid to late run speed, and Chris Samard has a little bit of damage to the right front of his truck. After got up into the wall at some point. Sisler on the outside of Brian Barnes. That's going to be for 3rd place. On 40 laps.
Fastest 5 last lap. No really surprise. Matt Sisler, Butch Davis. Todd Miles is a little bit of a surprise there, especially as these guys are falling off pretty quickly.
Yeah, over a second fall off for the fastest laps in the early part of the stint here. 1.5 seconds almost lower than in practice. The conditions were a little bit different in practice, but we saw Jensen down to 0.3. Absolutely amazing fast on ramp.
Yeah. Looks like Jacob Jensen has a couple seconds before he's going to catch Chris Walker. So he's got some clear track up in front of him for the moment.
Another dog fight here. We got Butch Davis trying to get around Bob Beltrami. Wayne Hutchison. These Iron Steel following that 43 through. Here comes the 43 to the bottom, 3 wide. Worked better for him than it did the 33 on the Saturday, but They're side by side with Beltrami. Like he's able to make that bottom work in the middle to exit of the corner. He gets a little bit loose there on the bottom. Not going to be good for your right rear tire, but you got to do what you got to do as Beltrami stays strong up on the outside.
It's kind of keeping him down on that low side. We've seen Davis kind of almost diamond that corner to do that crossover move, and he carries a ton of speed when he does it. Beltrami's just holding him down, making him run that bottom lane the whole way around the track.
Like what we saw out of Chris Walker earlier, you run where they want to, make it so they can't allow him to hold off Butch Davis for now. Robbie went all the way up there in turns 1 and 2. It seems at least hold steady there with the 17 and 43. Gotta wonder if these guys are starting to feel that they're being held up that way in Hutchison.
Kind of looks like it a little bit because you can see Beltrami carry a little bit more speed, and then all of a sudden he gets to the rear bumper of Hutchinson and has to kind of check out of it a little bit.
Might be Butch Davis's best chance yet. Gonna be able to use oh man, tried to use Kelvin as a pick. Beltrami saw through it, went to the middle. Trying to keep Ryan Steele behind him now, but Butch Davis makes that pass. Butch into 6th. Now Steele trying to get down to the inside of Bob as well. Bob way up into the marbles. That's not where you want to run. Cost him that spot. Falls back to 8th position. Butch Davis on the outside of Wayne Hutchison. Up into the top 5.
Yeah, Davis working his way towards the front. Up 5 spots. Ryan Steele up 6 spots. Both those drivers, didn't quite have the qualifying effort they wanted. Steele definitely faster in race trim.
And Ryan Steele's a guy who just gets better and better as this race goes on. Get down to the inside of Hutchison now, trying to take away that 6th spot. Really good center. Have the advantage getting in turns 1 and 2. 17 tries to stay strong on the outside, but just nothing doing there.
Yeah, no, Ryan Steele definitely had the momentum there. Hutchinson drove it in pretty deep on entry there. Had to slide up the track. Got behind Julian Ricci. Steele goes by. Ricci up on the high line. See if this bye week kind of got the number 1 back into regular season form here.
So far, so good, as we've got almost 60 laps complete. Jacob Jensen has led them all, started outside front row. Excellent through lap traffic so far. He's got almost second lead for Chris Simard. 8 drivers still on the lead lap. This at Dover or something last year.
Yeah, something like that. Have to see when drivers elect to come down pit lane. Looks like Charles Woods first to blink.
And you gotta wonder, with that 80% fuel range, thinking 2 stops and the rest of these guys do come in to make up Charles. 13 into the pit. Sisler gets around Chris Simard for 2nd place. And to find a way to close in this huge gap that Jacob Jensen has pulled out the first lap, 64 now laps of the race.
Well, back to what you were talking about coming down pit lane. If you can only go 60 or thereabouts, hopefully on that second stint you can stretch it out a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to be on that third stint going almost 20 laps further than this initial one.
Agala cars, trucks in front of Matt Sis. Slow him down just a bit as he tries to. Barry Phil comes down the track in front of him. Try to close in on the race leader, but It always seems to go that way where lap traffic just never goes.
Right in the line he wants to run. He goes down to the inside, going to try and get by Weaver here.
Weaver trying to... Oh, we got contact. Chris Samard sideways. Gonna save it. He had that thing pointed towards both walls for a moment there. Go back. Bring up an incident, but we'll go back to the lap beforehand.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was...
Trying to thread the needle there a little bit.
Little sketchy, but holds on to third. Wayne Hutchison comes in to the pits from the lead lap. Jensen out to almost 8 seconds of a lead. That's half a lap here at Bristol.
Paul Beltrami just in front of him is the last car on the lead lap, and he's running 7th place right now.
Esther, goodbye, Jake Jensen. Try to make sure that what happened at Martinsville doesn't happen again. Robbie really doesn't want to lose this lap position. Jensen, look down to the bottom. I mean, can't get down to block him. First slides on through. Slides a little off the corner while he does it.
Julian Ricci coming in pit lane.
Five laps complete here for Jacob Jensen. Isler able to equalize lap times there with Jacob. Lap traffic has really been killing him. Attention, guys. Bad times when they're together.
Yeah, he's had a rough time trying to get by some lap traffic. That gap's relatively stabilized, but it's still 8 seconds.
Last lap, last 2 laps, there was 1/100th of a second in separation. Still got 120 laps to go here at Bristol. Long way to go. At least one pit stop. Does look like they are eager to come in sooner. 6 trucks on the lead lap. Brian Barnes will be the next to go a lap. Kenyon pits. They're starting to close in that lead just a couple hundredths per lap. I know it's not much, but Davis to the inside of Chris Samard. That's going to be for 3rd place. Ryan Steele not too far behind. These two have been basically nose to tail all race, working their way to the front of the field. Interesting to see. I mean, if guys get a caution before they go a lap down, what kind of effort are they going to be able to put towards that 64? Liam Ricci to the inside of the leader on fresh tires. Try to follow him to the inside of Brian Barnes. Trying to stay on the lead lap, and there's the caution flag.
John
Kenyon has got around. First caution of the race on lap number 85.
Well, it's good for the front half of the field.
Well, and some of these guys did just make a pit stop, so they might be able to get that wave around. Man, John just got in there on those cold tires. Driving away, doesn't hit anything, but nonetheless, caution out for the first time here. Lap number 85. Caution out currently working 7. Jacob Jensen, of course, with them Matt Sis, Davis, Ryan Steele, all getting the opportunity to come in and get 4 fresh tires. Lap 86, Mike. Here, if you can make it.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering. I mean, nobody looked like they were ready to come down quite yet. But, I mean, if we're looking at the pit window being, 90 to 100 laps, somebody elect to maybe split this second, I'll call it second stage of the race, in half there and, use the fresh tires and maintain that speed? Or does somebody try and see if they can make it the whole distance?
The questions to be asked and answers are coming our way. Jacob Jensen, drivers, starting behind him. Matt Sister holding pace with him at that tail end of that last run. Butch Davis and Ryan Steele way up field from 10th, and Ryan Barnes gets the opportunity to stay on the lead lap. He was fighting for it as the caution came out. Beltrami, he passed a 6 on the lead lap. Miles elected to come in on under the caution flag. Nobody's going to get a wave around. Okay, not nobody. Some guys are going to get waved around to go back to 2. Nobody's getting back onto the...
Let's say green flag pit stops. That's more than 1 lap, so...
Lights are off on the pace car. A very quick caution here. The first of the day. We start on lap 90. Impressive for a Bristol race. Super proud of these guys. Western Racing League always puts on incredible racing. Benson leads us down. Green flag back in the air. Strong restart out of that 64. Field. Watch Bob Beltrami trying to work his way through some of this lap traffic. Gonna get super tight, coming up off of 2. 3 wide down the back straightaway, almost 4 wide for a moment as Barry Phil gets sideways. Gonna fall through the pack as these lap cars are trying to figure out going where. Barry Phil going towards the back right now. He did not come into pit. He was one of those wave around guys, and caution's coming out again. Barry Phil gets hit by Keith Kelman. Chris Walker is around. A lot of action in the back of the pack.
Well, you get those lap cars.
Came.
Let's say you get those lap cars, and you have all the guys that just pitted trying to go around them, and it just doesn't work. There we go. Oh,
Lucas got loose coming up off of 2 and just snagged that 23. Barry Phil slams on the brakes and Kelman gets him. Damage to both of those guys, but be able to fenders out.
yeah, Barry Phil came down the track, and Keith Kelman was was right there, so got a little contact between the 07 and 99.
Jacob Jensen lead. Matt Sisler, Butch Davis, Ryan Steele hasn't changed. Ryan Barnes, Rob Beltrami is going to be able to restart right around these guys now. Earl Weaver pass. Going to have to start at the tail end. Longest lap is being scored on lap once again.
Back to 7 on the lead lap.
Lap 9. Second cut. Okay. Super smooth, super calm race at Bristol Bar. It's wild because this track is like dogfighting in a gymnasium.
Well, especially after what we saw a couple weeks ago at Martinsville. I assume this would be a lot more aggressive, but it actually hasn't been too bad. These guys ran the initial 85 laps under green. As we get ready to come back to green, pace truck is in. Single file restart after we didn't make a lap. Jacob Jensen, huge jump once again on this restart.
Okay, we'll see about Earl Weaver and some of these lap machines towards the back. Bar to the front, Matt Sisler. At Butch Davis breathing down his neck.
Ooh, Sisler a little bit loose there on exit. Getting back in line. Davis to the high side.
Oh, he's there. Nosing out in front. Up off of turn number 4. He's got that second position. Power move up on the outside.
Yeah, Butch Davis has been able to put that truck wherever he wants it. He went high, he went low. He kind of diamond the corner, so definitely has got to be happy with that 43 SPT, or STP, Jesus, Ram.
He's about half a second off of the race lead. And Steele gonna try to follow him through there as well. Steele a little bit loose coming up off of the corner. Ryan Barnes. Davis just a little bit quicker than Jensen. Time by a couple hundredths.
Yeah, Davis definitely has the speed, and after he doesn't have that, traffic to work through, we'll see what he can do. Jensen trying to pull away, hasn't quite been able to do it. Still sitting at 3/10.
That's about as close as we've seen anybody to Jacob after a restart here. He got away pretty good on Samard by about half a second, then pulled it out to a second. Not long after that, it was 8 seconds. So
Yeah,
they
look
say
at the
catching him's one thing, passing him is another. Butch Davis takes another 10th out of the lead. Jacob, it's now 2 car lengths coming up off of the corner.
Yeah, not only are they racing really close together now, they have put a 2-second gap back to Matt Sisler in third.
And how hard is Ryan Steele working now as he works to the inside? Matt Sisler, how much tire is he going to be using trying to get around that 93? If he's able to kind of save some tires while those guys are racing hard, he might have the advantage on the back end of this run. Ryan Barnes got a little bit loose there coming up off of turn 4. Keep steady. Steele looking to the outside. Sisler says, I've seen this move before. I think I know how to defend it. Maybe not. From Steele up to the outside.
Still staying on that high line, trying to drive off, and it looks like he might be able to get it this time by.
Phil had a problem, jumped straight to the pits. We stay green. Guys up front just trading blows back and forth. One lap will go to the 64, one lap will go to the 43. Next one, they'll run equal.
Yeah, both trying to figure out where the other one is running and, make a little bit of ground. That gap now goes back out to almost half a second. Jacob Jensen beginning to pull away once again here.
That's been kind of Jacob's style, kind of weather the storm here at the beginning of the run. Don't overdo your stuff. Make them overdo it to catch you. When they start to slip and slide, that's when you start to drive away.
It looks like Scott Kukas jumped to the pits as well.
Guys, their days early. At 1:14, and then start to drive away just a bit more. Top three ran equal lap times down to the 100th time around. I built dummy.
Yeah, it looks like these top 5 or 6 keep running about the same lap times. It's just that initial restart and how they kind of got spread out a little bit. Otherwise, 1568, 1575, everybody's about the same.
Surprised if Rami got up there and started racing with Barnes, maybe sister. Over. 84 laps to go. Front of the race was 85 laps. Could entirely go green to the rest. Yeah. Starting to lose a little bit more time. Ryan Steele starting to gain a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder how much tire Davis used up in the beginning to try and get by. You kind of know that's what you have to do when you have a dominant leader like this. Because once Jacob gets set, and out there and he just starts logging laps, it's going to be way harder to try and get by him. But beginning of a run, take your chances and try and get that fresh air up front and see what you can do.
Out for Jacob. Butch and Steele get around Matt Sisler. They've really been able to get away from Barnes. Got a little bit loose coming up off of the corner. Beltrami still guys within arm. Seconds. Ryan Steele is able to stay pretty.
Everybody up front keeps running about the same laps, just can't quite make any ground. Behind them, though, looks like Bob Beltrami's getting a little bit quicker, ran about a tenth and a half quicker than Brian Barnes that last time.
Trying to close in now. All three of these guys within about equal distance of each other. Oh, Beltrami, big slide coming up off of turn 4. That tire is really not going to like that on the right rear.
Yeah, definitely not. We'll see what everybody's trying to do here. See if anybody elects to split this last part in half and get a little bit of the fresh tires on there once they start to fall off dramatically. But it's Bristol, so it's hard to allow yourself to go down a couple laps.
That is. Oh, Jacob Jensen gets hit by Keith Kelman trying to get through. Right for a damage to that truck. How bad is it going to be?
Wow. And Butch Davis just avoided Kelman bouncing off the wall.
What kind of lap times the 64 can put down now? Like some pretty decent contact with the fence there. It's 2.9. He doesn't like the way that thing is handling right now. He feels confident. Was
Oh, off the wall. Yep.
back again off the wall. Hill and Davis avoid the same issue, and Devin just jumps down to the bottom of the ring. 132 laps complete. Jensen still leads the gap down to about a second. Davis closing in, but that last time around did not go the way that he wanted it to.
No, he just made up a couple, well, about a couple tenths there. But with the damage on Jacob Jensen, he's going to have to try and take advantage of it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Jensen's still able to put down some pretty solid lap times. He's holding pace with Davis, dude. Time around, going to get it to within a second. But Jensen's been able to stick right around that 16:29, 16:30 range. I don't think he's out of it yet. I think this got more difficult for him, but Butch Davis is still going to have to make this pass.
Yeah, no, Jacob Jensen, I mean, he's only losing maybe a tenth a lap, so nothing to be too worried about at the moment. And if we get a well-timed caution, who knows, maybe he'll get that thing fixed and won't be an issue anymore.
Up to Todd Miles there. He was able to gain a couple tenths before he got there. Davis with 16:45. Hitting around 1 second. Run there, gets a golden opportunity around that 16. Down a little bit more. Ryan Steele also trying to stay within 2 seconds of the race leader.
Still going to have to deal with Todd Miles momentarily.
He wants to try to close in on Davis now. Make it a 3-horse race. You want to let Davis get in front of Jensen for too long before you get around Jensen. And that's still, if these guys can make it there. Jensen is running pretty competitive lap times. Have some lap traffic to deal with in front of him here. Side by side between John Kenyon and 46 of Earl Weaver. Weaver is on the lead lap, going to be trying to stay on the lead lap. Jensen sends it down to the bottom. Put that 46 a lap down. Earl stays strong on the outside, stays with him. Davis likes to see that. Half a second. Weaver runs the bottom. Hurts Davis's run just a little bit. Now, stop. Tries to get around Kenyon and Walker now. Goes to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. Can't use it up all he wants. Neither can Davis.
So Kenyon tried to stay out of his way, just can't quite do it there. As Walker kind of comes down, Kenyon off the wall into Jensen. Once again, Jensen getting a little door banging after truck bounces off that outside wall.
Jensen really fighting hard to try to get around these guys. He could see the 43 right up on his rear bumper, closing in. It in one more time. Walker, is he gonna nose up there coming up off of the corner? Barely. Allows Ryan Steele to close in. He's within 3/4 of a second now. He's gonna have to get through all of this traffic. Both Butch and Jacob Jensen have gotten through the traffic. Now they are bumper to bumper. Coming to 50 laps to go.
Yeah, Jensen has got to be thinking what might have been, or no, not again.
Hold a little bit of a gap on the 43, but a lot closer than he has been any stage in this race. Kind of a
Yeah.
And Davis also has to know that that 12 machine is closing in on him.
Yeah, Jacob just wants to hold Butch Davis back there long enough for maybe the 12 machine to get there. So then the 12 and 43 start racing each other and might give him a little out to try and drive away from both of them.
And if you're Butch, you want to try to find a way to set up a run and maybe use a lapped car as a pick. Julian Ricci's not going to be the one time. He might actually detriment there to the 43. Not so much, but he was 12. Slow him down just. Davis has been able to get there. Since it still has enough truck to keep him behind for now. Really driving it in at the beginning of the corner, and that's allowing Jensen a bit better of an exit. Davis able to keep it about half a lane lower than Jensen there in 3 and 4. About half a truck length. He'll off of 1 and 2. He is there. The pressure on.
Yeah, it's like Jensen kind of watched some of his passes earlier because he is staying right on that bottom lane, not allowing him to kind of diamond that corner and get that run off, as he is just stuck to the bottom till after corner exit.
Yeah, you're going to be hard-pressed to get that 64 off the bottom of the racetrack. Dean Davis be able to do it up top. Same with Gill. Almost getting to the bumper there. Gill and Sisler are both right here. 3 cars within 1/4 of a second of each other. Where you start to think that lead car might be holding these guys up. How patient are they going to be as this train gets bigger and bigger behind them?
Yeah, and don't forget, Julian Ricci just came out of the pits on fresh tires as he goes to the high side, trying to go by.
Butch Davis didn't really care about that. Oh, Jensen gets into Ricci. Able to keep it on the bottom, keep it straight. Another sketchy moment there for the 64s. He's got 39 laps to go to try to hold this down. Ricci gets in there deep. Sends the 16 up the racetrack. Ricci sideways down on the bottom. He's going to spin. Are we going to see a caution? No caution yet. Ricci drives away.
Wow.
Things heating up here at the end. Battle for the win. 4 trucks under a blanket, almost within half a second of each other. Brian Barnes is closing in on this group too. It was 3.5 before. It's 3.2 now. Wayne Hutchison also out here on fresher tires. moves up to the outside. He's going to try to overtake these guys all in one swing and go to get it done. All of that gives just a couple tenths of a second of breathing room for Jacob Jensen here at the front of the racetrack, or front of the pack. And Steele starting to look to the outside of Butch Davis.
Yeah, they're trying to get anybody to get up there and try and get by that 64. Jacob Jensen's making that truck 4 or 5 lanes wide as nobody's been able to even get to the inside yet. Ryan Steele trying to go to the outside of Butch Davis. Butch Davis staying there. Steele to the outside, side by side. Davis closes in on that back bumper of Jensen. Can't quite make the pass, though.
Oh, he can't. They're side by side for second. Ryan Steele getting the run up on the outside. He wants to go 2 in a row here at short tracks. Got the run. He's got the nose to the door. He's nosed it up ahead, coming up off of turn number 4. Scrapes the wall there to give Jensen some room. And Davis trying to follow through on the outside to take away second. Jensen tries to come up and block. Can't quite fill the hole. Davis makes it up to the outside. He's trying to take away second. Holds it right on the door of Jacob Jensen. These guys are scraping paint, but not quite door banging. About as respectful of contact as you can get here at Bristol. Julian Ricci, that lap machine, trying to get around these guys again. Remember, he's on fresher tires. Did have a little bit of a slide. Oh, and speaking of slides there, Butch Davis sliding into turn 1. Into the wall. The caution is out.
Wow.
Let's take a look, see here. Get sideways there. Oh, that's gonna ruffle some feathers there, I think.
A little bit, a little bit.
But he's gonna
almost
get the chance to come in.
Let's say everybody except for Jacob Jensen. Jensen wanted that caution so he can get this truck fixed. Ooh.
Damage next to repair. Gonna get away. Matt Sisler will be second. Butch Davis third. Not a lot of damage to him. Beltrami. Earl Weaver pass. Ian Hutchison and Todd Miles waved around.
Well, somebody will wave Julian around after the race, I think. Because I don't think anybody was too happy with that.
And I mean, it's a tough deal. I know he's got a fast car, but you're also racing around the leaders. Went in and almost wrecked yourself in front of him already. Last time you tried to get around. Happened.
Yeah.
One of those deals where you got to pick and choose your battles, and that was a Ryan Steele, Matt Sisler, Butch Davis, Bob Beltrami, Jacob Jensen will be 6th. We've got Brian Barnes in 5th. Seven laps to go. 6 when we take the green flag. You're not going to have to worry about saving tires. This is going to be an all-out brawl. I don't think we've seen the last of that yellow flag yet, Mike.
I think you're probably right. Green flag in the air. Ryan Steele down and away. Gets a massive jump here. Out to 2 cents already.
Sisler gets a good run coming up off. He's going to look down to the inside, getting into turn 3. Davis has under fire now from Beltrami. Sideways is Sisler. Sideways is... oh, man. Beltrami into the wall. Butch Davis around. John Kenyon gets up into there as well, and drivers bouncing off each other trying to slow down. Butch Davis got sideways up off of the corner and got a tail wagged it into Bob.
Yeah, I mean, you got that, cold tires coming off on the throttle, get sideways.
Benson got a piece of it as well. Here.
Yeah, Bob's probably done. Davis is probably done.
Here. On board the 14. Nothing he could do there. It was just in a moment that 43 was sent down in front of him.
Yeah, no.
Both Bob and Butch going to get meatballs here, which they hadn't already decided their day was done. That's likely a day ender with this 2 laps left. Ryan Steele was under fire for Matt Sisler there on that first lap. I wonder if he's going to try to check the bottom a little bit more, or if he's confident that outside is where he took the lead on considerably older tires. It's her off on the pace truck, going to go single file this time. Ryan Steele, Matt Sisler, Brian Barnes. Benson is in fourth, and he has got a long way to go through lap trucks. Hard to get back on the lap here. Wayne Hutchison, the first driver. Kenyon restarting up here. And of Beaver just behind him. Pace truck makes that hard left turn. Back to the green. 20 laps to go here at Bristol. Gets that run coming up off of 2 again. This time he looks to the outside going into turn 3. Try to get that diamonding run coming up off of the corner. Top 3 able to drive away from the rest of these guys. A lot of them laps down. Jacob Jensen trying to work his way through the field. Got some damage to the front end of that truck.
Jacob Jensen dealing with all the lap trucks he's trying to get by. Ryan Steele has a rear view mirror full of Matt Sisler, and Brian Barnes is closing in as well. Got that 4 machine going in the right direction.
Yeah, he just got up into the wall a little bit, but the lap before that was the fastest lap of the race. 15:18. Time by, he was also the quickest truck on the racetrack, but he's going to have to make quick work. Trouble on the front stretch. That's not a caution.
Wow. On the apron, Chris Samard. Wow.
All right, well, Ryan Steele holding on. A look at that in just a few moments. 15 to go. Steele, quarter of a second. Quick look at that incident. I think the iRacing officials may be a little inconsistent. Auto cautions.
I mean, it was down below the yellow line, so maybe, but then Weaver came up onto the racetrack sideways, so
Yeah.
you never know.
Got a 50-50 there. It could have gone either way, I guess. But on the Freddie Kraft school of thought, if it's a caution, at one point it should be a caution.
Yeah.
Ryan Steele holding on to the lead. Brian Barnes trying to work his way up to the top of the racetrack. Unable to do so. Lost a little bit of time there. Matt Sisler losing a little time as well. Ryan Steele drives it away. He's got about 3 car lengths here with 10 laps to go.
It looks like Jacob Jensen is losing time again, trying to deal with this lap traffic. It's like he might have finally, yeah, it looks like he cleared it now, but still 4 seconds back.
Yeah. 8 laps to go. It's just very implausible at this point. Here's a couple of lapped trucks in front of Ryan Steele. Weaver. Still going to stay to the top of the racetrack to stay out of the way. You're coming up off a 2. Have a whole heck of a lot of speed. Or exit. Able to make quick work of them. So trying to use that to close in. A little bit wider arc. It's a little bit better exit. He's coming right back to that rear bumper here with 6 laps to go.
Slap cars are definitely going to play a factor in this race as they work around the lap cars. Keith Kellman on the high line. Ryan's still going to try and drive it in deep and get by. Looks like he will be able to. Sisler also gets by.
4 laps to go this time, and just Todd Miles in front of these guys. They're within about 2 tenths here. Car length now down the back straightaway. 3 drivers under a blanket racing for a win here at Bristol. Todd Miles all the way up the racetrack. Now there's clear track in front of that 12. Just a battle. Mano a mano versus 93 and 12. Sisler can do. He's right up out of the rear bumper with 2 laps to go. Use the bumper.
Yeah, he definitely did. Matt Sisler trying to drive it in deep here. Coming through 3 and 4. Still there. Ryan Steele has a good drive off. Back to you. White flag in the air.
Ryan Steele trying to go 2 in a row here at the short track. Matt Sisler trying to set up one final run. Does he lay the bumper to the back? He's going to look to the bottom. Going to try to gas it up there in the middle, but just nothing doing to get to the 12. Ryan Steele wins in Bristol. Matt Sisler did everything he could there. Comes home in second. Brian Barnes comes home in third after a blazing fast finish here. And Jacob Jensen. Little love tap there to the 07. Imagine he's happy about that earlier contact, but Ryan Steele wins the race. He's going to run it down the pits. Ryan Steele done. Polish victory lap to the non-existent grandstands there in turn 3. Down the pit lane. Barnes, 3rd place. Well, keep that here. victory lane. I think
I was gonna say, it looked like that's what he's trying to do.
building is it on top of? That one. If he find
He's close.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and bring him in. Ryan, it's Liam and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, we saw you trying to get there to lane. What's
I think I have my objects turned down because I can't actually see where it is. I see what looks like a stairway in front of me, but I can't see where the pit or the victory lane box is. So wherever it is.
okay? Yeah, that makes sense. Well, honestly, crazy race for you. You worked your way up through the entire field and your way up to a fourth or fifth before that first caution on lap 85. At that point, you were 13 seconds back. Did you think there was any chance that you were able to get up there?
No, I really didn't think so. I was hoping that tire wear would start working out my advantage. It just really didn't seem like it was happening. At least not on the first run, it didn't. But on the second one, I guess it did because I was able to get to the lead and stay there. So, hey, yay for another tire wear win.
We saw contact there with the 7 and kind of a little bit of damage that allowed you guys to close in, but you were the first one to jump up top and make it happen. How did it feel up on the top versus out on the bottom? And talk with us about that battle.
Well, I'm a type of driver that just kind of favors racing on the high line anyway, and trying to complete a pass on the bottom seemed to be the hard way. It was really easy to hold position on the top, even if you were slower than the car behind you. So I felt like I would be able to get to someone's outside and stay there. And then once I had them trapped on the inside line, I'd be able to get around pretty easily. And that's the way it worked out. And I wanted to make sure I was the first one to try it because if I did, if someone else did it first, then they'd be protecting the top side for the rest of the race, and then I wouldn't be able to get by.
Talk with us about that last battle there as well with Matt Sisler. It kind of seemed like you guys were trading blows back and forth. You'd get a couple car lengths, he'd take them back. He was able to get to your bumper a couple times, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah, he was telling me like he was trying to get to my back bumper, and I was kind of trying to prepare for myself for that too. Like he wanted to rough me up at least a little bit. What's it called? Rattle the cage. It's Bristol. It's what you're gonna do. I debated like going and running the top line all the way around on 3 and 4, but then I just kind of did the thing that was natural to do, overdrove turn 3 a little bit, and I guess he couldn't get there. We finished out in front. It was a great battle with him though.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch you guys at it side by side even before that last caution. Ryan, you've got 2 in a row now, I believe. Been on the season. You're on a streak. What you got for us next week?
Oh goodness, what is next week? Do you know?
Kansas.
Ooh, could be. Like I'm pretty good there, but there's a lot of guys who are also very good there. So we're probably just fighting for a top 5, maybe not even that, depending on who shows up. We'll see. We'll keep trying to get points and get good finishes and see where the championship runs out. All I can do is keep showing up and doing the best I can.
And anyone else thank for such a strong run here?
I've got to thank the Dog Bear team for helping prepare for the race. And I got to thank you guys for covering the series so my friends can watch.
And congratulations on 2 in a row.
Yes, thank you very much.
And now we're going to go ahead and bring in second place, Matt Sisler.
Liam, how are you?
Pretty good. We got Mike up in the booth here as well.
Hey Matt, that was a heck of a run. The first 85 laps, you kind of worked your way through the field almost with Ryan Steele there for a while, and then coming to the end, looked like Jacob Jensen got a little damage. What was your mindset there after seeing his lap times kind of fall off a little bit?
At that point, like, I knew he had to work his way through lap traffic, and he got in clean air. I thought I was kind of like, well, 3 seconds back, he's got newer tires. It's just going to matter if he's got how bad his damage is and how bad his handling was. And then, like, I was just focused trying to get the 12 and not let the 4 get me. And I looked back at the timing sheet and it was 3.6. So it was just like, okay, I don't have to worry about that. I just don't make a mistake. Like, don't hit the 12 in a way that's going to bring a caution out, and don't make a mistake that allows the 4 through. And just couldn't get. I tried with the 12. You guys saw on that the penultimate lap. I tried into 3 and it just didn't stick. But give Ryan credit. That was one heck of a run to the finish.
Yeah, it definitely was. It looked like you thought about maybe putting the bumper to him a couple times there, but with the way you guys were running, probably was going to wind up taking both of you guys out and opening it up for somebody else to take the victory. You kept it clean and wound up bringing home P2 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy. I style myself more after Mark Martin. Like, he finished second so painfully often, and as is one of his fans, I know that firsthand, like, so many times. And I don't like to rough people up for it. And you were right, Mike. I was worried that, like, even like with like 3 or 4 to go, when I got to his bumper, like, I'm worried, like, if I do this, I'm not practiced at it, so am I gonna, like, cause a spin? And then we now have to worry about Jensen being right there for the restart with with an overtime restart. So I was trying everything I could to get him clean, and maybe if I was a quarter truck further up out of 2 on the white flag, I did think about just throwing it in and trying to aim for his door, but with how the transition is and how these trucks handle, I just didn't want to, I wasn't comfortable about trying to throw it in there and make it stick for me to a way that wouldn't just give Brian Barnes the win.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your second place finish. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
I mean, my awesome sponsor, 3 Birdies Golf Company. They've been with me for 18 months now. Gotten them a few wins this season here in Western States, so that's been fun. Was really trying to get the Ram win. Didn't quite, but we'll get there. Big shout out to them. Go check them out. They've got a bunch of cool gear for the golfer and for just casual wear over at 3birdiesgolf.com. My truck design, Lil Hooper Designs, my painter, Alan. He does an awesome job with these. I know he's probably going to kick my butt for not winning, but, I gave it a pretty good ride. Peace, Love, and Paws Rescue out of Southeast Michigan. You guys up at SRM doing an awesome job on these broadcasts. You always do a great job. And lastly, Bob and everybody who puts on Western States Weekly. It's a blast to get to come and run here.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your second place finish, and we'll see what you can do maybe next week at Kansas.
All right. Take care, guys.
Hey, now we'll bring up Brian Barnes. Brian, you come home P3, but tell you what, you might be the only one who had a better seat to that finish than we.
Yeah, I was hoping to pick up the pieces, man, but it never happened.
Yeah, you were in the prime position if contact was made, but and you had yourself a phenomenal day. You started within the top 5, stayed there for most of it. Third, what was it like out there for that?
Good night. Like I was just telling Ryan, this old truck is hard on an old man's body, but I always seem to do pretty good here.
Yeah, I think this is one that experience definitely out a ton. I mean, exception to Jacob Jen, the young kid who's able to wheel it around here. But I think the more you race here, the better you get.
Yeah, experience does matter, but I still ain't got the kind of experience it takes to go that damn fast. He was hauling the butt early in the race.
What was that last restart like for you? You guys were all three under a blanket, and you put down the fastest lap of the race there, just after that final green flag.
Yeah, like I say, I was trying to stay close enough to capitalize if Matt went and threw the old bumper to him, but it just never materialized. And still really happy with the team to come home in third place, though.
Ryan, is there anybody out here got at Kansas?
Well, I thank you guys for doing this for us. It's always enjoyable to watch later, as well as listen to the guys that do watch and tell me how good I did. That would my brother especially. So shout out to my brother Gary, and we'll catch you guys later.
Ryan, congrats on the podium finish, and yet Kansas.
All right, 10-4.
A phenomenal race here at Bristol. Close. Saw it all. We saw a long green flag run. We saw some lapped car drama. We saw leaders get topsy-turvy and 0.2 of a second separated top. Ryan Steele gets the win over Matt Sister, Brian Barnes, Jacob Hutchison, top 5. David Weaver, Todd Miles, Julian Reach, top 10. Final 2 pages there will be rolling back and bottom. Ryan Steele led the most laps at 167. Led the other hard charger 12 position. Fastest lap of the race was Brian Barnes toward the end at 50. Fastest qualified. Bart. 2 years. Flag lead changes technically if you count Benson getting around the pole center. 4 cautions. Laps. Quick one here.
Yeah, it definitely was. Everybody minded their P's and Q's for that first, 85 laps. I didn't think it would make it that far on the initial green flag run, but I mean, these guys went out and definitely put on a show. They put these short tracks kind of behind them as we head off to Kansas Speedway, where these guys have definitely had a lot of races.
Some good racing there, yeah.
I mean, 22 races, 14 different winners. These guys definitely know how to put on a show at Kansas. So we'll see what they can do next week when we're at Kansas.
Can't wait to see you guys there, and we're glad to be back here after a little week off for Easter. Forward to seeing you guys next time, and as always, quote Cletus, do it for Dale and like Biff. As you guys walk through the street, take it easy, folks.